A debate on President Cyril Ramaphosa's political overview and remarks on Phala Phala is continuing in the ANC NEC today after he faced calls to step aside. The criticism of Ramaphosa's handling of the Phala Phala Farm robbery has been touched on by Dr. Nkosazana Dlamini-Zuma and KZN Secretary Bheki Mtolo, with ANC NEC member Mondli Gungubele coming to the president's defense. Govan Whittles is at Nasrec now, where the meeting is taking place. Govan, when we spoke to you a little earlier, the ANC NEC members were taking a break, and I imagine you managed to speak to some of them.
We did indeed, Clement. We're able to bring you some exclusive interviews on Newzroom Afrika at this hour. And we also have further insight into the nature of that debate and where we're at right now with the ANC NEC. Once again, they've broken for lunch. They're about to go back into their sessions. Before we get into that, those comments, we've managed to secure comment from Paul Mashatile, the Treasurer General, as well as NEC member Mdu, who was quite frank on the discussion around Phala Phala. Essentially, they've said that the president elaborated in detail on the Phala Phala matter. Not only did he say that he was presenting his answers to Parliament, he also went into detail of the source of the money, who the buffaloes were sold to, the state of the investigation, exactly what he instructed Wale Roda, the member of the VIP Presidential Protection Unit, to do when he reported the case. And many on his side of the fence, in his faction that are supporting his renewal objectives, have said that he disarmed the so-called RET faction by giving them enough information that would not lead to a cogent attack on the Phala Phala issue. Nevertheless, those issues were raised by Nkosazana, Dlamini-Zuma, as well as Bheki Mtolo. A few others, we understand, one delegate from the Western Cape, who's known to be a staunch supporter of Ace Magashule. But it does look like President Ramaphosa and his allies have won the day when it comes to the Phala Phala debate within the National Executive Committee meeting. And right now, they're discussing the organizational report. They've moved on from the discussion on the political overview given by the president, and that means they'll get into the meat of the day. But let's pause there and take a look at what Paul Mashatile and Mdu had to say in these interviews to Newzroom Afrika.
We were quite surprised ourselves because we don't have the report. Obviously, if the report was sent to us, we would be suspected that it was leaked from Luthuli House, but we don't have the report. The Integrity Commission has not sent the report to us yet.
Govan, let's just clarify here, because Paul Mashatile says they were just as surprised. But yesterday, when he spoke about an Integrity Commission report that will be tabled before the NEC, which exactly was he referring to?
He was referring to that Integrity Commission report on the Phala Phala matter, as well as the number of other matters that the Integrity Commission looked at. Today, changing his tune there, he was speaking about the Integrity Commission's report there, and Newzroom Afrika questioning him on whether he was on his view of the leak of that draft report by the Integrity Commission, clearly distancing his office from being behind the leak. But as you said, clearly yesterday in that interview, he indicated that they don't have or they do have the Integrity Commission report, and they weren't the ones that leaked it. Speaking in response to other questions, particularly on the nature of the debate, he said that they didn't necessarily have tension in the room, that the ANC's discussions are known to be robust when dealing with these matters. That was in direct response to questions on the Phala Phala debate. And as I said, Mdu saying that the explanation by the president had been accepted by the NEC. I think that we do have that bite by Mdu available that we can play for you now, just to get a sense of the final decision or how the argument or debate around Phala Phala ended after it was raised in the political overview.
As you know, the president would have taken us into confidence on the matter that is spoken about, spoken about the country, of what would have transpired at his farm. But and the NEC has accepted the president, and we've said let's allow the law enforcement agencies to then conduct the work that they have been seized with insofar as this matter is concerned.
That's Mdumanana speaking to Newzroom Afrika on the sidelines of the NEC meeting of the ANC here at Nasrec, where they're going back into the meeting after the lunch adjournment. Of course, we'll continue to speak to people at this NEC meeting, speaking to people inside the meeting, hoping to get exclusive insights and bring it to you on Newzroom Afrika. But the next time we speak to you will be at a memorial lecture delivered by the General Secretary of the South African Communist Party, Solly Mapaila. He's speaking in memoriam of Lalu Isuchiba. He's one of the veterans of the SACP and the ANC, someone who was part of Umkhonto we Sizwe. We're very close to the late Ahmed Kathrada, and also seen to be one of the people that was driving the renewal agenda, and a staunch critic or fierce critic of former President Jacob Zuma while he was still in office. And that memorial lecture will likely focus on not only the integrity issues that the ANC faces at the moment, but the prospects of the factions degrading the party, or as the Draft Integrity Commission's report says, moving towards the party's disintegration as it heads to the December conference. For now, it's back to you.
Govan Whittles, live to us from Nasrec. Thanks for the update.